Well, I thought the first thing was that the thing I was the proudest about that we played hard the whole football game. I thought our kids competed hard in the football game the whole game. I thought ULM played hard the whole football game. We knew they were going to be different on defense. They caused you some issues, but I was proud of the way our kids competed in the game and stayed focused in the game. And were able to make plays at key moments in the game when they had to, and even when sometimes things weren't going well, and all of a sudden they'd rally back up and make a play. And we have a lot to clean up. We got a lot to get better on, but it was a good first ball game, and I think ULM's got a pretty good little ball club. I really do. I like their ball club and what they do, and they're hard to go against. But proud of our kids the way they competed, but we got to get much better, and we just got to keep working, go where we're going to go.
Can you talk about the performance of BJ and his first?
I thought he was a little nervous in the beginning, and I thought the wind caught one of them balls early. He had that wind in his back, and he had a chance on that third play of the game there, and I think the wind caught him and gusted him. It's actually easier to throw into the wind than it is that, but I think a little nerves, and then he got in the groove there and really played well. And I thought really made some big third down throws and converted some third and longs. I thought the second half he come out and got a little tentative at times, just a little lazy with his feet at times, and I think it was just, you got to learn when you're the starter like that, when you're playing from ahead and you say, okay, play smart, play aggressive, but, don't. And he got into that group, but then he come back and made some good plays. But for the most part, he scrambled well. There was no mental mistakes as far as not knowing what to do. He had a poor decision on the interception. They clouded the coverage, and he saw it. He just thought he could stick it in there. He just tried to juice it in there and get it in there. And but he come right back over as soon as he did it and told me what they were in and what they were doing. And we just gotta learn from that, and we'll do it. But for the most part, I thought he had a solid day. I thought he had a solid day.
How about the receivers? You've been kind of talking about them during the preseason, cutting routes.
We did. We caught the ball, made some plays down the field. Burt, and we threw some deep balls. We made some big plays. Greg Dent come out there and made a big one. And Dent could have had two. He had a daggone ball, I think, down in the red zone. That time we ended up kicking the field goal and getting off sides at the one that I thought he might have been able to score up in there. But, that shows me. He dropped that ball, and we come right back, and he makes a great catch on a 50 or 60-yard play down the field and did a great job. But, Rodney Smith made some nice plays in the game, really played well. Jared Scooter made some nice plays underneath, caught some nice third downs. Burt had a couple nice plays. And then Rashad Green did a great job. And I always said Rashad's healthy. Rashad's got some juice in him now. He's got the ability to make a miss and do some things. And I thought they played a solid football game. I really did. So I see the film. We'll see more, but it seemed to be pretty good out there.
I'm pretty happy with the defense, Coach.
Oh, yeah, extremely. They played well. What I was happy about, that team was no huddling. And we were making adjustments. We were getting our blitzes in. We were getting our checks in. We're used to what we were doing. We could line up, and they were in empty. They were four wide. They were three wide. They were motion back and forth. And I told you we spent a lot of time on that. We did on offense. We actually took a lot of our time on offense for about 5 or 6 days. We took our ones and even, did some things that we usually don't do a lot of, and did for them and tried to so we could get ready for that. We know so many teams do that and help them out, and I think they did a tremendous job though of aligning and play. They controlled the line of scrimmage. Did a great job on third down. Got them in third and long a lot. We're able to get off the field. Got pressure on the passer. When they didn't throw a lot of balls down the field. They tried to dink and dunk, and it's hard to get there. But when they did, we had some pressure, and thought they did an outstanding job on defense. We were physical, and they couldn't get any runs. And thought up front we did a really nice job.
Coach, we don't talk about special teams enough. How did your special teams today, and your kick coverage was fantastic.
I'm gonna tell you now, they set the tone from the opening kickoff. We got some big guys. I told you can cover. We got a great leg with Hopkins. He can get it up high, and those guys can run. They can cover. And I'm gonna tell you, when you get in I say this all the time. When you can start teams inside, the percentages are less than 20%. You average maybe 180-yard drive in a game. You get two if you have 2 80-yard drives in a game, something good really happens generally. And then how many times we catch him? I don't know how many times it was inside the 20-yard line. Not only did he kick it out a couple times or but we caught him inside the 20 a bunch. And I think maybe the only time we didn't was when they called the offsides and we had to re-kick it, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going off the top of my head there, but they set the tone. You know what I mean? I thought our punt return, we did a real nice job. We had a nice kickoff return. The one we got a nice kickoff return. We got that average back and did some nice things. But I thought Hoppy kicked it well. I thought Sean kicked it well, and we covered extremely well. And like I said, we're big and athletic, and we got some guys that can cover.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the difference in what you see for this roster compared to where you were after the Oklahoma game last year? I know you've only got one game of evidence here, but
I don't know about the Oklahoma game, just in general last year. I think we got more depth. I think we're getting bigger bodies. I think we can run. I think a lot of those young freshmen got their feet wet out there today and did some things. And you got some guys that can cover kicks, and you got some guys that can sub guys on the defensive line and on defense when guys get tired. And on offense, we had a nice rotation of receivers, got a great rotation of running backs, played 2 or 3 tight ends, you know, and we're getting some guys in there, and we feel getting experience. So if guys do get banged and bruised, we can get them in, but we can keep depth and keep fresh in that second half.
Is seeing a guy like Jermaine Thomas, who's become a non-factor in your offense?
No, I wouldn't say he's a
minute.
non-factor.
This was a guy that was a bell cow for you, at least for pockets of it, and now the fact that
He's not a non-factor. It's just right now that he was banged up at the beginning of camp. Ty Jones had as good a camp as he's had, played tremendous. 23, Chris Thompson came back and had a really good camp. And Devontae Freeman was there all the way through. But 38 will have a big role in this team before it's over with. 38 will be back in the mix and playing. And we have no inclination of being down. Just the way it happened to go today. Now, this game was a different game on defense. I mean, on offense for us against their defense, just for the fact that the way they played, they blitzed and ran all them packages and a 3-3-5 and a bunch of guys in the box. You couldn't run the ball a lot. You know what I mean? So that you threw the ball and it wasn't a lot. It only had 63 plays, and it was just a different type of game. But 38 will be back in there. You can bank on that.
So we got a lot of contributions from the freshmen today.
We did. We got quite a few. I don't know how many of them exactly it was, but I thought Freeman went in and played well. I thought Nick O'Leary went in and caught a ball. Had some chances. Carlos and those guys, Rashad Green made some nice plays. Clint Trickett gets a nice deal there. I'm trying to think. Some of the linemen got in at the end a couple plays. I was hoping we could get one whole drive. You know what I mean? I was hoping to get them in there a whole series. Just the way that we only had the ball 4 times second half. I think we had a 3 and out, and a 12-play drive, and a 14-play drive, and a 1-play drive. And I was trying to get him some more at bats, but no, there was a lot of those guys got to play.
Freeman.
Last question.
How much did the wind half of it? EJ would make these beautiful rainbow throws down the field, and then there'd be a guy wide open like O'Leary and other guys in the flat, and he would shoot.
No, I think his feet later. Early got hit once, and then early the first post the wind caught it. But then a couple times he just missed a couple balls. I mean, like he said, he was 3 or 4 balls he should have thrown better. He missed Burt on a little double move out there that he made a nice throw, just let him out there too far. O'Leary threw one down his feet. He got his feet tangled up off the fake and didn't get his lower body processed through. And then he had Rodney earlier before he hit one on Greg Dent, but he got blasted. He couldn't hold it long enough to do it. And then he turned around and made the next throw and got blasted again and stuck it on the money for 60 yards. He held it just a hair longer, but that's probably 4 throws that he could probably get back. But you throw it 35 times, that's what happened.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thought you'd be different.
Weird.
Weird game.